Shooting sports is a collective group of competitive and recreational sporting activities involving proficiency tests of accuracy, precision and speed in shooting. The art of using various types of ranged firearms, mainly referring to man-portable guns and bows, crossbows. Different disciplines of shooting sports can be categorized by equipment, shooting distances, targets, time limits and degrees of athleticism involved. Shooting sports may involve both team and individual competition, and team performance is usually assessed by summing the scores of the individual team members. Due to the noise of shooting and the high impact energy of the projectiles, shooting sports are typically conducted at either designated permanent shooting ranges or temporary shooting fields in the area away from settlements. Historically, game shooting and target shooting has been exclusively limited to the upper class and the gentry, with severe penalties for poaching. The National Rifle Association of the United Kingdom was founded in 1860 to raise the funds for an annual National Rifle Meeting, for the encouragement of volunteer rifle corps and the promotion of rifle shooting throughout Great Britain. Target shooting was a favorite sport in colonial America, with the New England Puritans regularly testing their shooting skills for recreation and at militia training days. The Scotch-Irish settlers on the frontier favored shooting matches sponsored by tavern keepers. Turkey shoots were popular after harvest time. Contestants would pay an entry fee, and everyone who killed a tethered turkey at 110 yards for muskets, 165 yards for rifles, could keep the bird. German gunsmiths in Pennsylvania began to manufacture flintlock rifles in the 1720s, which became especially popular among hunters because of its long-range accuracy. It could be accurate to 200 yards. Along about 1820, percussion caps, and the locks that ignited them, became available, and nearly all new firearms began to be constructed using this ignition system. Many flintlock firearms were also subsequently converted to the percussion system, which was a relatively simple procedure that could be accomplished by local gunsmiths. Although percussion ignition did not add to the accuracy of the firearm, the time between when the firearm firing mechanism fired from a smoothbore firearm a real possibility. Practicing for game hunting by shooting at artificial aerial targets launched from spring-powered launching devices became highly popular and led to the development of the modern trap, skeet, and sporting clays shooting sports. In 1831, a sportsman club in Cincinnati, Ohio held a competitive shoot at pigeons and quail released from ground traps. German ethnic communities set up athletic clubs and shooting clubs, especially in the Midwestern states in the 1850 to 1917 period. Breech-loading shotguns introduced in the 1860s, and the knowledge of rifles by Civil War soldiers, made trap shooting popular. However, there was humanitarian opposition to killing live birds, and the passenger pigeon was dying out, so glass or clay targets were used instead. Concerned over poor marksmanship during the American Civil War, veteran Union officers Col. William C. Church and Gen. George Wingate formed the National Rifle Association of America in 1871 for the purpose of promoting and encouraging rifle shooting on a scientific basis. In 1872, with financial help from New York State, a site on Long Island, the Creed Farm, was purchased for the purpose of building a rifle range, named Creedmoor. The range opened in 1872, and became the site of the first national matches until New York politics forced the NRA to move the matches to Seagirt, New Jersey. The popularity of the national matches soon forced the event to be moved to its present, much larger location, Camp Perry. In 1903, the U.S. Congress created the National Board for the Promotion of Rifle Practice, an advisory board to the Secretary of the Army, with a nearly identical charter to the NRA. The NBPRP also participates in the national matches at Camp Perry. In 1903, the NRA began to establish rifle clubs at all major colleges, universities, and military academies. By 1906, youth programs were in full swing with more than 200 boys competing in the national matches. Today, More than 1 million youth participate in shooting sports events and affiliated programs through groups such as 4-H, the Boy Scouts of America, the American Legion, USJCs, NCAA, the USA High School Clay Target League, the Scholastic Clay Target Program, National Guard Bureau, ROTC, and JROTC. French pistol champion and founder of the modern Olympics, Pierre de Coubertin, participated in many of these early competitions. This fact certainly contributed to the inclusion of 5 shooting events in the 1896 Olympics. Over the years, the events have been changed a number of times in order to keep up with technology and social standards. The targets,